Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmaids.com. Thank you so much for joining me for another Stampin' Up tutorial. So today I'm going to share with you a really simple fun fold fall inspired card, and I'm using two stamp sets. I'm using Pick of the Patch for some fun pumpkin images on the front of this card, and then I'm using the Charming Sentiments stamp set for my sentiment, and I'm doing this thank you sentiment there. So this fun fold is really simple to do. So I'm going to share this with you, and I actually created this card for my team virtual swap. So every month I host a virtual swap with my team of Quita Bug Stampers, and last month our theme was thank you, and so this is the card I created. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right into today's tutorial. So I just wanted to quickly show you how I created this very simple fun fold base. So I took a piece of early espresso cardstock. This is cut 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and it's scored at 5 1/2 inches. And I just took my paper trimmer, and I just randomly slid my cardstock into my trimmer, and I decided to just cut 2 inches off. You could actually cut however many inches you want off of the front of the card base. I just went with 2 inches. So I've just lined my paper up with the 2-inch mark, and I'm going to cut. But you could very easily change this card up. Let me go ahead and just fold and crease on this score line, but you could very easily switch this fun fold up by cutting somewhere different. So you could take 3 inches off, 4 inches off, switch it up if you want to, but I just went with 2 inches. And I wanted this card to have kind of a fall feel to it. So I brought in some of this beautiful designer series paper. This is the oxidized copper 12 by 12 designer series paper. So it comes in 12 by 12 sheets, and there are 2 different prints in here. You've got this one that has copper and pretty peacock. Isn't that beautiful? And then you've got this one, which is just copper. Yeah, just copper. So really pretty paper, and I thought it had a fall feel to it. So let's go ahead and get started with our stamping. So I'm going to start with this piece of basic white cardstock. I die cut this cardstock using the stitch circles found in the Stylish Shapes dies. Love these dies. I also die cut this Cajun Craze circle using those same dies. So hopefully you can see that stitching all around the edge. I'm going to bring in my foam mat or my piercing mat just to get a little cushion and get the best stamped image. And then here are the colors I chose. I'm going to be using Wild Wheat, Pretty Peacock, Cajun Craze, and Early Espresso. And then I've also got my chamois here so that I can clean my stamps as I need to. So I'll just put this off to the side. So I'm going to start first by stamping my thank you sentiment in Pretty Peacock. And I just want that at the center of this circle towards the top. Looks good. Then I'm going to bring in this little pumpkin from the Pick of the Patch stamp set. I love this pumpkin, and I want to stamp this. Let me make sure my circle is straight here. Oop. I want to stamp this off to the left. I'm going to put it right there. Okay, that looks good. Then I'm going to bring in this little scrap piece of basic white cardstock, and I want to stamp this pumpkin right here. I'm using the Pumpkin Builder Punch, which coordinates with the Pick of the Patch stamp set. You can purchase these as a bundle and save 10%. So I want to make sure that I stamp this image going this direction so that I can easily punch it out. So I'm going to stamp that pumpkin in Cajun Craze. Stamp that down. I haven't used Cajun Craze in a long time. Okay, that doesn't look bad, but it almost looks a little too inked up. Let me try one more time. Ooh. I don't know why my Cajun Craze is so inky. Let's see. I don't know why my ink pad is so inky. I haven't even re-inked this one. Okay. I think I like this one better. I'm gonna go with that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and just slip this in my punch and punch it out. Let me line it up here. Okay. Okay. I was scared it might fly into my ink pad. So then I'm gonna use my punched out pumpkin to help me figure out where I'm gonna stamp my stem for this pumpkin. So I'm just gonna put it right about there. I'm gonna grab my stem and I'm gonna use the thicker end at the top of my stem, and I'm just going to ink up the edge, the top part of that little stem, and I think I wanna stamp it right there. So let me put it down just like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and ink that up again so that I can stamp the top of that stem also for this little pumpkin. Just like that. Ooh, it's so cute. Then I'm gonna bring in this little leaf image, ink that up in my early espresso as well. And I wanna attach that to the little stem that we just put down right there. That looks good. Then I'm gonna go ahead and grab a dimensional here, and I'm just gonna put, actually I think I'm gonna do 2 dimensionals. Just put a couple of dimensionals on the back of this little pumpkin, and I'll go ahead and line that up with my stem. Let's see, is that where I want it? Yeah, I'll go with it. Okay, so there's our little decorative sentiment panel. I think it's so cute. Then I've got a piece of basic white. It looks like ink splattered from my Cajun Craze onto here, but that's okay. I'm just gonna go with it. So this is cut 4 inches. Oh, no, excuse me. This is cut 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, and I'm just gonna stamp a little sentiment on the inside. Originally, this is how I stamped the sentiment. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. I was gonna stamp the pumpkin somewhere else, but I think I'm gonna go with that. So this sentiment also comes from that Charming Sentiments stamp set. So I'm just gonna stamp Beyond Grateful. And you want to make sure that when you stamp it, that once you put this piece on the inside of your card, you won't be able to see the sentiment when the front of your card is closed. So you just wanna be careful about where you stamp it. So I'm going to go with the center because it should be covered up if it's about right there. And then I'm gonna bring in this tiny little pumpkin, and I'm going to stamp that in Cajun Craze right here next to my sentiment. And then I'm gonna clean my little stem off because I'm going to flip my stem around and stamp the skinny end for this little pumpkin. So I think I got that inked up how I want it. There we go, that's perfect. All right, so now we can start putting this card together. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this inside panel onto a piece of Pretty Peacock cardstock. This is cut 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And don't worry, I do have all of the measurements for today's project over on my coordinating blog post, which is linked down below in the video description. Okay, and it looks like I'm about to run out of this. So I'm gonna switch to liquid glue, and I'll go ahead and add this, which I'm almost out of this too. I'll go ahead and add this to the inside of my card. And this is fun. It's really a quick and simple card, but it's so pretty. Really elegant. All right, so we've got that. Then we can add these layers. So for this piece of Designer Series paper, this is cut 3 inches by 3 3/4 inches, and I'm gonna layer it onto this piece of Pretty Peacock cardstock, which is cut 3 1/4 inches by 4 inches. So let's just get that on there. Whoops. Okay. And then we'll just put this onto this little panel. And you can see my sentiment kind of shows right there, but you're not going to see that once we add our other layer. And I see a little bit of glue coming out down here, so I'm just going to grab that. All right, and so I'll go ahead and add this onto my Cajun Craze circle. Come on, I just need a few more drops. Oh, come on. Okay, that should do it. Running out of all my adhesive today. Okay, so got that on there. Then I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to add dimensionals just on the left side of this sentiment layer because I don't want to adhere my card closed. So you don't want to put any dimensionals or adhesive on this right side. And then I'm just going to add this onto, and make sure I don't have any dimensional hanging over the edge. Yeah, okay. Just straighten that up a little bit more. How's that? Yeah, I think that looks good. So I'm gonna press that down there. Okay, and there you have it. That finishes the card. Thank you. Beyond grateful. So just a really fun, simple, fun fold, very easy to create, and you could redo this so many times, just changing up your designer paper, your sentiment, your imagery, and you've got a nice new card every single time. So I love how this card turned out. And then you know I had to do a matching envelope, so I added that other piece of the designer paper from the oxidized copper DSP. And then I also did a little stamping here on the front. And there you've got a matching envelope. So I hope that you have enjoyed today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Don't forget you can find all of the measurements and all of the supplies for today's project linked and listed down below in the video description. So you just click that little down arrow. It'll open up and expand the description down below, and you can find links to my blog and links to all of the products down there. And you can also find them over on today's coordinating blog post, which is of course linked down below. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and stay tuned because I'll be back again very soon with another tutorial. Bye now.